on the radio. Please call the fire department. Child talking on the radio. Please call the fire department.
Now, as we bring out our new product for this fall season, we are anticipating a 90% jump.
Shalom, my name is Valentino. I'd like to talk about a precious garment known as the talit, or the prayer shawl. I'm going to give a brief instruction as to how to don the talit, the meaning of the atara, which is the prayer blessing on the neckband, and the tzitzits, which are the commandments. Jewish tradition requires that we personally bless the Lord for each detail of our daily experience. Such a requirement surely points to a deep inward appreciation for the good things God personally provides for us throughout each day. This Hebrew blessing for donning the talit vocalizes our gratitude to God for His daily provision and care. We open the talit and hold it up by the neckband, which is where the atara is. We repeat the following blessing in Hebrew, then I will transliterate it into English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher kidashinu betzimotav betzivanu lehitatev batzitzit. Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with His commandments and commanded us to wrap ourselves in the tzitzit. We kiss the neckband, rest over our shoulders, we hold the front in front of us with one hand, reach about mid or halfway, and drape over our shoulder. We repeat the same the right side. Now you may use talus clips to hold it in place. As such. The talit, our faith in Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah, has a brave background. We have been robbed of much depth of understanding its root due to the persecutions over centuries against true believers and Jews alike. In the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verses 37 to 41, it says, the Word of God, make tzitzits, tassels, on the corners of your garments, to remember all the commandments of the Lord, to be holy before the Lord. Why? Because I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. What is a talit? In simple English, meaning of the prayer shawl. It is a garment made of one piece of material worn around the shoulders. Some are made of 100% wool, acrylons, and silks. The tzitzit is also called the gadilam, twisted tassel with a knot. It is a lock, a fringe, a tassel. It appears in the scriptures under the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 12. You shall make tassels on the four corners of your garment, with which you should cover yourself. The background on the talit is, in the talit is a lot of teaching. The teaching of the numbers called gematria in Hebrew. It is the knowledge about numerical values. Each word and number have numerical values, numerology. Each tassel, zitzit, should have 39 windings. 7 plus 8 plus 11 plus 13. They are separated by double knots. 26 is the numerical value of YHWH, or Yahweh. 13 is the value of Ehad, and 1 unity. Therefore, the windings of each zitzit equals the value of YHWH, Ehad, Jehovah God is one. This is called the Shema in Hebrew, on which the Jewish faith is built. Yeshua suffered the same number of stripes for our healing in Isaiah chapter 53, verse 5. And it can be repeated again in the New Testament in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 24. They were also commanded to give to them a blue strand called the Hamash, or servant. Hamash is also the center or middle candle of the menorah, a symbol for Yeshua, the servant of God, the mediator between us and God. Each zitzit has 7 white strands, number of perfection, surrounded by the blue servant, color of royalty. It now adds up to 8, the number of new beginnings. As you add 600 is the value of the zitzits, and the 5 knots and 8 strands, you have 613. 613, this is the number of mitzvahs, commandments, and blessings of the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament. This represents the Word of God. In biblical times, believers wore this all the time as a symbol to be surrounded by the Word of God and by the presence of God. To be surrounded by the Word and the presence of God in the symbols of the prayer shawl, meaning of talit. Tal, T-A-L, is the Hebrew word for tent. It, I-T, is little in Hebrew. Literal meaning of this, little tent. Paul, coming from a rabbinical background, was not making a living from camping tents. He was very intelligent and studied the Torah. Yes, he was a talit maker, understanding the meaning of each thread of the garment, which needed study and accuracy. If we look in the book of Acts, chapter 18, verses 2 and 3, Aquila and Priscilla had the same profession and could teach others. They were believing Jews persecuted in Rome for faith in Yeshua. A talit is a garment used in prayer, symbolizing prophetically embracing the Spirit of God. It means to be physically, spiritually, emotionally covered by God. It is a covering. A talit is a prayer closet to experience the glory of the Lord when you're alone, in your time of meditation, in your time of devotion in the morning, or in your prayer time. Is to be alone with Him. It is then put over the head to be free from worldly influences and concentrate on Him. When was it used? Believers in the Old Testament wore it all the time during prayer, especially used at major festivals, funerals, and major ceremonies. Sukkot, Feast of Tabernacles. Shavuot, Pentecost. Pesach, Easter. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And today, Jewish believers use it for bar mitzvahs, circumcisions, weddings, and burials. It is also used on Simchat Torah, the day after Sukkot, to carry the Torah scrolls in the Talit, which are the first 5 books of the Old Testament, and then carried in the prayer shawl. We as Christians, we also use it during our time of praise and worship. Shalom.